roll. And then you can post photos, prayer requests, news and announcements from Enterprise to share with the rest of the conference.
Let me pause here for one moment. I'm going to take a lovely photo of all of you to post on my Facebook page tomorrow morning, so everyone can see how wonderful you all look. I may have to take two because they're so spread out. I took a photo outside of your VBS site also. I'll include that.
We also have a web page for the conference, ks-ne.org. If you're not able to make camp meetings, as a lot of people cannot, all of the sermons and seminars from all the camp meetings and all the women's retreats are on the web page for your convenience. Please log on and help yourself to those. I'm celebrating a little anniversary of sorts this year. I started my communication career with the conference June 1, 1987. This is my 25th year of serving you. I can thank you for allowing me to serve you. First time I came to Enterprise and Enterprise Academy was in 1983. I was working as a communication associate for Christian Record Services in Lincoln, Nebraska. And as a member of this conference, I got correspondence from the conference office. And at that point, at that year, they were trying to raise $300,000 to keep Enterprise Academy open. So your then conference president, Joel Tompkins, had an idea of having a telephone hookup in every church on one Sabbath, so he could communicate about the needs for Enterprise Academy. Well, that was before cell phones and before internet. So I wrote to the conference officers. They did not know me. I did not know them. And I offered to do a one projector slide program to send to every church in Kansas. Well, they thought that would work out better than a potential telephone hookup, probably be less expensive as well. So I came to campus, shot pictures, met the students, and produced a one projector slide program. We made about 55 copies of that, sent to every church in Kansas. And because of the Kansas members' faithfulness to Enterprise Academy, the $300,000 was raised. So that was my first acquaintance with this conference headquarters, and so I have enjoyed being here since 1987. Had I not started at Christian Record Services in 1979 as a communication intern, I would not be standing before you this morning. So happy to be here. I want to thank Dennis Moss for running our sound system for us, our DVDs for us. I told Dennis that I have trouble with someone else running the children's story for me. So I have one vocal number and one instrumental number. Well, most people are so anxious to hit stop that they hit stop before the instrumental number starts. So I was in the church, I was in 3 churches last Sabbath, Newton, Hutchinson, and McPherson. So I saw your in-laws last Sabbath. Things went well at Newton and McPherson because I used my own equipment to show my DVDs. But things didn't go so well in the Hutch Church. Hutchinson has very nice members, nice sound system. No, please don't tell them I said that to you. So, Dennis, you're the first one who's ever done the children's story correctly. Thank you very much. You've already read our scripture text today. It's Service with a Smile. Bad day. We've all had them. We wish we did not have them. One little boy once said, my day was great, except for the really bad parts. 2 things in life cause you to have the bad someone sick in the family. And then the other thing that causes me to have a bad day is when someone tells me they will call me at a certain time. They say they'll call at 1 o'clock. Well, really, Wednesday afternoon, I had an experience like that. We're having email issues at our headquarters, and I'm the one who troubleshoots the email to our internet provider. And, they do a terrific job for us, wonderful job. But at 2 o'clock I called, and they said he'd call me back. But then when he called back the next day, he apologized and all that. So, when someone tells me that they're going to call, I like to call at that time. They say that confession is real good for the soul. I'm going to do a little confessing to you this morning. As some of you know, I became an Adventist at age 19 in California. When I was 8 years old, I tried out for the Little League baseball team. I was too small for football, too short for basketball. I enjoyed playing baseball. So the tryouts were on a Saturday, and you would hit some balls at the plate. They would hit some fly balls to you in the outfield, some ground balls to you in the infield. You run around the bases, things like that. And then the next day, Sunday, you get a call from a manager if you made the team. Well, Sunday rolls around, and I'm very anxious for the telephone call. And I wait. And I wait. Finally, at 2 o'clock, the phone rings. Here's my aunt calling my mother for a recipe or some sort. I said, "Mother, please hurry. I'm expecting an important phone call." So she hung up as quickly as she could. And then I waited some more. So finally, at 4 o'clock, the telephone call came that I had been waiting for all day long. The manager of the American Legion team. I had made the team. I played the position of second base. I wore uniform number 2, because I've never been number 1 in anything in my life. But like Avis, I always try harder. Then at age 16, a milestone for teenagers, you're ready to get your driver's license. In California, you had to have someone drive you to the motor vehicles office, like in Kansas, I'm sure too. My mom had to work that day, so my older brother Ron was assigned the task of driving me to the motor vehicles office. He's supposed to pick me up at 9:30 that morning. So I start peeking out my curtains down the street and see the cars coming up the street. And by 11:45, he still hadn't shown up. So I called my mom up. I said, "Mom, isn't Ron home?" So she calls Ron at home. Even up all night with my new baby niece, who did not care a thing about me taking my driver's license that day. So finally, about 1:30, 2 o'clock, Ron shows up. Now, Ron is very agitated. He has to take his little baby brother to the motor vehicle office. The more agitated he becomes in the car, the more stressed out I become. So when we finally arrive, and the instructor hops in the car, and I go along, heartbroken, mortified. California, you had to wait a week before you could retake your test. So my mother the next week took the day off to take me to the motor vehicles office. I passed that time without any problems whatsoever. And then just last year, I had a experience that caused me to have a bad day. I was very honored when the officers called me up to their office. You always get a little nervous when you come to their office. But they asked me to be an interim pastor for 3 churches not far from Topeka until another new pastor arrived. So I was assigned to the Ottawa, Olathe, and Osawatomie congregations. I only serve as interim pastor to churches beginning with the initial O. My sights are now set on Omaha Memorial, which will not happen. All the members are very nice to me. They know I'm not a theologian, I'm not a pastor per se. My degree is in communication. They were very, very nice. Well, one of the churches in Ottawa needed a new video projector, roll cart, amplifier, so they could show DVDs on the screen. Now, they wanted a roll cart to kind of roll it out of the way and then roll it back in whenever they had to show something. They already had a screen. So they know I order lots of equipment for my communication needs. And so we met on a Tuesday evening at one of their board meetings. I had some catalogs there for them to see. I put together a package deal, always trying to save churches funds as much as I can. So the total cost was going to be $900 for a 2500 lumens projector and a roll cart and an amplifier. In fact, I like the amplifier so much that I ordered me one of those amplifiers. Anyway, they voted it that night. They said, go ahead and order it. So the next morning, if I don't take care of things right away, I might tend to forget something. In my older age, I have a really habit of doing that. So next morning, I ordered the equipment. We ordered from a firm in Alabama that is no longer in existence, but 18 months ago they were. It's called Long's Electronics. Nice firm. They do a lot of work with denominational organizations. So I called my contact there, we ordered the equipment, everything was fine. So I'm in my car driving downtown for another appointment, and I get a cell phone call from one of the church board members who was there the night before. She said that another board member went home and talked to her husband, and she wanted to offer to purchase a high-definition monitor for the Ottawa Sanctuary. Now, the Ottawa Sanctuary doesn't have a lot of space up front to really hang or, mount anything. So I hemmed and hawed, and I finally came up with the idea, would she consider, instead of a 2500 lumen projector, to purchase a 4500 lumen projector, which would be a lot sharper. And it would be about $400 or $500 more than what we had already spent. So the board member called the lady back, and she said, sure, that's fine. Now my task is to call back Long Electronics to cancel the previous order in order of new 4500 lumens projector. It's really hard on me to make a phone call like that. Once I've ordered something, I don't like to have it changed. I don't like to return it unless if it's wrong, fine. If it's not right, I understand that. But it's just hard on me to call and explain that I need to change. So I called back Long's, and I talked to my contact individual there. He said, well, let me check the computer screen. Well, the previous order had already been sent to my conference headquarters. So I explained everything to him, and I said, well, we need to exchange for 4500 lumens. He said, well, I tell you what, once the other one arrives, do not open it, just ship it back to us, and we'll send you the newer one. I said, great, that's just fine. Not long ago, the National Football League had a commercial about mistakes on the field. Interceptions, fumbles, missed field goals, and things like that. And how the fans in the stadium were reacting to each mishap on the field. They used a theme song in the background called Bad Day by an artist by the name of Daniel Poucher. Kind of a one-hit wonder song. A one-hit wonder is when a singer has one hit and you don't hear from them ever again. Kind of a nice tune though. So they use that as their theme song for all the mistakes on the field. I'm going to share with you on the screen a 10-minute DVD about a man having a really bad day. Nothing is going right for him. Until he's able to see those around him, what type of day they're having. Then he realizes maybe his day isn't so bad after all. And then following this, I'm going to show you 2 30-second TV commercials from our Lincoln Good Neighbor Community Center. The local CBS affiliate in Lincoln volunteered to produce these 2 30-second TV commercials to show them on their station to the community, to share what they do at the center, what services they offer, and to solicit support. Now, it's really very rare for a local TV station to volunteer to do something like this. The Lincoln Center would have probably spent $10,000 to have these 2 spots produced and show them on the air, on air. So it was very nice of the CBS local affiliate in the area. Lincoln serves a very unique, diverse group of people. They have a lot of refugees from North Africa and the Middle East. They teach them English as a second language. They teach them computer skills. They teach them how to go to a job interview. And of course they have food and clothing and all that kind of stuff also. So first we'll show you service, and then we'll show you the 2 30-second TV spots.
Every time I pull out of it, I like it. Man, this is one of those tough experiences. It feels at home. Organizations always put out like, hey, pull out of it. These are these dumb roads. Okay, so I'm not even here. Right. Right there. Princess of Wine. Sure. Take the spot. May be considered. Oh. Kidding me? Unbelievable. Not time. So what do I want? Yeah. No problem. Yeah, the world should be true. The world, your voice up. It's Great for me. Weighing in. Unbelievable. What am I supposed to do? How can I do anything about that? Can I even help with that? I don't. Your copy, sir. I can't take this anymore. I gotta get out of here. Hey, why?
pay the bills, buy medicine, or feed your family. No one should have to make this decision. With a donation to Lincoln's Good Neighbor Community Center, you help a family make ends meet and restore dignity to those who need it most. Lincoln's Good Neighbor Community Center, helping people help themselves.
我要是学会了多少数学？
帮助大家，帮助自己。
ساعد الناس تساعد نفسك. Helping people help themselves. Lincoln's Good Neighbor Community Center, helping people help themselves.
The last example I want to share about having a bad day was it kind of started here at this church. We saw the pastor McKenzie baptizing that man there. Well, I came out here just to tape that so I could put it in his offering here. But I had to be at Leavenworth at 1:30 for a mortgage burning ceremony. So I thought I could get here and take the service, take the baptism. Now you recall I was in the back room there, and I couldn't see past Pastor McKenzie and the person being baptized. So I hurriedly carried my tripod and camera here, and I shot just enough to have that much of a clip. So that all turned out well. I needed to leave here about 20 after 11, 11:25. I thought I could make it there by 1:30. Well, on the turnpike, I could tell I was going to be a little late. But I thought maybe 10 minutes late. I thought to myself, well, they'll have song service, they'll share some of the history, so everything should be okay. So when I pull in at 20 minutes to 2, they're all outside. They have the gun talking about everything. So I park and I get my still camera out and rush up to the pastor and Don from our conference office. And I said, do I have time to get my tripod and the video camera? They said, sure. So I ran back to the tripod and the video camera. I left my still camera near Don and the pastor. So I rushed back and I put the tripod and the camera on the other side, where I knew I could have a nice viewpoint. So then I had to walk in front of everybody to get my still camera. So I start walking over to my still camera. I didn't notice that they were erecting a new sign also for the church that had a very low overhang on it. Once I start walking, I hit my head on the overhang. I fell on the ground. The head starts bleeding. People rushed over and they went inside to get napkins and Band-Aids and paper towels. I hate to be the center of attention at an important ceremony like that, but of course everything stopped. Now I was fine. I have a little scar up here. It kind of hurt my pride more than anything. So that was my experience of being 10 minutes late at a groundbreaking ceremony. When I have real bad days, it seems the Lord sends someone in my path that may be a little bit worse off than I think I am. So if my speech isn't going real well that day, then the Lord sends someone to encourage me, which is be a big help. The last time I was here, I told you about a little girl named Macy Hampton, who was having a kidney transplant last year. Macy Helm was about 5 at the time. She's now 6. She had a transplant last June in Chicago. An adult female church friend donated one of her kidneys to her. Kelly is her mom. So Kelly befriended this other lady online before she arrived, whose son was having the same procedure as Macy was. So on Monday evening, when they were there before the operations, Kelly took her over some food and some toys and some things like that. And then the next day, she took her over some things for her son and some other food items. So even though Kelly was struggling with her daughter's surgery, was able to look past her hurt and share her kindness with someone else. Now, think about the last time you may have had a really bad day. Here's how I feel when I'm having a really bad day. I feel angry, I feel frustration, I feel hurt, I feel embarrassment, and I feel sad. I want you to think about the next time we're having a really tough day. I call this the 3 L's of life. The first one is to remember that God wants us to learn. He sent experiences like these for us to learn something, to lean on Him more. In Hebrews 4:15, he tells us, we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect is tempted as we are, yet without sin. Christ has compassion on us. Surely we should show compassion to others. Our second L is lesson. God is always teaching us something. Now that doesn't mean He is punishing us. He is improving us. In each bad day, God has a lesson that we can learn. There's one person in the Bible who had a lot of bad days. His name was David. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it did. Yet, God called him a man after my own heart. God helped him learn. He helped him improve. Our third L, remember, is love. God loves us no matter what. Ever watched the TV cartoon about Clifford the big red dog? It's about a little girl named Emily. Her loved her dog so much that he grew bigger and bigger and bigger than any other dog in the world. Do you think God loves us that much? I think so. God wants us to grow into a beautiful person. Just like Emily's love for Clifford made him grow big, God's love for us makes us grow also. Hebrews 12:11. All discipline at the moment seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. So how will we endure our next bad day? We need to remember that God is trying to teach us and to help us learn. As I close this sermon today, I want to share with you a story about toast. This toast is very, very well done. Kind of black. A friend shared this with me. He said, long ago, my mom used to make breakfast food for supper and the evening meal for early morning meals at times. So after a long, hard day at work, my mother placed a plate of scrambled eggs, fried potatoes, and extremely well done black toast in front of my dad. I was never waiting to see if he noticed how the toast looked. You know, my dad did was reach for his toast, smile at my mom, and ask me how my day was at school. don't remember what I told them that evening, but I do remember him smearing butter and jelly on the toast and eating every bite. When I got up at the table that evening, I remember hearing my mom apologize to my dad for the toast. And I'll never forget what he said. He said, honey, I love my toast that way. Later that night, I went to kiss Daddy goodnight, and I asked him if he really liked his toast that way. He wrapped me in his arms and said, your mama played hard today, and she's real tired. Besides, so, well done, like piece of toast, doesn't hurt anything. Life is full of imperfect things and imperfect people. I'm not the best at hardly anything. And I forget birthdays and anniversaries just like everyone else. But what I've learned over the years is that learning to accept each other's faults, each other's differences, is one of the most important keys to creating a healthy, lasting, and loving relationship. And that's my hope for us today, that you will learn to take the good, the bad, and the ugly parts of your life and accept them as they are, because in the end you will have a relationship where a piece of well-done black toast isn't that bad after all. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to come and worship with you this morning. Susan was planning to come, but an illness in the family caused her to stay home. And so I am happy to be here. Looking forward to your wonderful meal following this. And so now we will close with our